The clips.
You're live.
Okay.
You're live?
It's on friends only. It's on friends only. Let it run for another minute.
Okay. 200.
At 2 minutes, you bring it back to me.
Okay. 310. You ready?
Yeah. Bring it back to me.
Bring it up to you?
Yeah. Good evening. As we always do, I want to make sure you can hear the sound of my voice, and I want to make sure you can see me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, could you please press the like button? If you can hear the sound of my voice, could you please press the like button? I want to make sure as we go on with this show, you can hear me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please press the like button. Good evening, wherever you're watching from. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please press the like button. Thank you. Let me know where you're watching from. Please write in the comments section. Your name I can see already, but where you're watching from. If you can see the visuals just fine, kindly press the hearts button. If you can see the visuals, fine. If you can see me, press the hearts button. The hearts emoji if you can see me. Also, if you can ever be so kind enough, at the bottom lower screen, on your bottom lower screen to your left, there's a little button on your left that says share. Kindly share so more people can participate and get to watch this broadcast. Hearts button if you can see me.
Going to the shots again.
Okay, so I think you can see me. I think you can hear me. I want to begin by playing back the shots. So bear with me if you've already watched this. But because of the analysis we are going to break down, I am going to break down a particular analysis. So I would like you to pay attention to this shot. Just follow the slow motion of where the grenade is. I want you to follow the circle, the red circle. Follow the red circle. Go. Follow the red circle. There's a red circle that is coming up on your screen. Pay attention to the president as he walks off the stage and he steps down from the stairs. Look at the red circle. There is an object that is flying, and the object flies and it lands, and you give it a millisecond. As soon as it lands, you see the explosion. Do you see the explosion? There's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. Now I want you to pay attention to where I am pointing Mary Chiwenga. I want you to look at the vice president's wife, the second secretary of ZANU-PF. Pay attention to where she is. I'm going to ask the team to pause as you get to Mary Chiwenga. Pause it. It's going to pause right on Mary Chiwenga. There. I want you to pay attention to where Mary Chiwenga is. The only thing holding Mary Chiwenga back is her husband stopped to greet someone. If Mary Chiwenga took one more step by Mary Chiwenga, she was going to be caught in the midst of that explosion. Pay attention to Mary Chiwenga again. Pay attention to the object. Look at where Mary Chiwenga is. Look at where the object is. As the object is coming in, and Mary Chiwenga is stepping, she is literally stepping into the explosion. I'm going to play this one more time. I want you to pay attention to the object. I want you to pay attention to Mary Chiwenga. Okay, I'm going to bring it back into the studio. Are we back in? Okay, so what I've just shown you is an image video of how the explosion happened. If you hadn't had a chance to catch up with it, I'm sure most of the country has. I've just shown you where I believe the explosion came from. Tomorrow I will break down all the conspiracy theories that are going around. I know there is various theories. At the moment as I speak to you, the President's Department is investigating at the highest level how this happened. Tonight, I want to focus on what we all saw today. So you saw those visuals. Now I want to play back so you can see some of the aftermath of this. So I'm going to ask the team to put on the screen some of the aftermath. Do we have aftermath of the hospital? Okay, I'm going to show you aftermath of what happened at the hospital. We have aftermath of the hospital. Do we have aftermath of what happened at the grounds? Are we able to put that up? Bear with me. You guys can see more than I can see. So we have aftermath of what happened at the ground. We have the ambulance picking up everybody and moving them. We've got some of the recon team from the military picking up the military personnel that was close to the president. You have the president going to visit the vice president's wife, Mary Chiwenga. We haven't seen the vice president yet on public images, but we know that his security detail was able to evacuate him from site. We also know that the second vice president, the other vice president Mohadi, we know that he was injured. Now, people might have seen the pictures that are circulating of Vice President Mohadi being evacuated by the military, by the body personnel that is actually from Vice President Chiwenga's office. Understand, if you look deeper and on detail onto those pictures, you will notice there is a large cut that is on Vice President Mohadi's left leg. And on this leg, you can see the cut because the blood has now gone and stained itself onto his trousers, and there is a stick to his trousers. So what we know as of tonight, we know that President Emmerson Mnangagwa is safe. We know that he was able to leave unharmed. We know that President Emerson Mnangagwa was on stage with at least one of his sons, Emerson Jr. We saw Emerson Jr. leaving with a security detail from the vice president's office. He wasn't even able to get into his father's motorcade. We also know that the second vice president, Mohadi, has been injured. We know that the chairman of ZANU-PF, Opamu Chinguri, has been injured. We know that the political commissar of ZANU-PF, Rugeje, has been injured. We know that some of the body personnel, the close security from the president, has been injured, and there may be fatalities. We know that some of the people in the audience who were closer to the scene were also injured. What we don't know is what caused this. Let me make it very clear to those who consider my voice to be of any influence. Tonight, I'm not a member of any political party. Tonight, I am a Zimbabwean. And let me put it on record. There is nothing funny about what happened tonight. There is absolutely nothing funny about watching one of our own potentially get into the line of fire. It does not matter who it was. It could have been President Nelson Chamisa of the MDC. It could have been President Thokozani Kupe. It could have been President of APA, Nkosana Moyo. Absolutely nothing is worth joking about when a terrorist attack has visited our country. You look at any country that has terrorism in it. There is nothing funny about terrorism happening in Kenya. There is nothing funny about terrorism happening in Ethiopia. There is nothing funny about terrorism that happened in the United States, in Iraq, Afghanistan, or Pakistan. Nothing is funny about terrorism, because terrorism is the use of fear, the use of violence, the use of intimidation to achieve political aims. We are a young country. You and me are very young. We are very, very young. We have seen the worst of our days as a country. We have been divided by the worst of our days as our country. But tonight, I don't join you in mimicking what happened today. I don't join you in making comedy about what happened today. I'm not a part of the comedy. I'm not a part of the jokes. I'm not a part of the conspiracy theories neither. Because what happened to President Emerson Mnangagwa and his team today could have been President Nelson Chamisa. It could have been Nkosana Moyo. It could have been Thokozani Kupe. It could have been Joseph Busha, James Busha. It could have been you. It could have been me. Here are some of the responses that came from leaders across the world and across this country about what happened today. I'm going to put up the response by, the team might have to help me on this. I believe President Kenyatta put up a response, and this is what President Kenyatta said. President Chamisa, okay, here's the message from President Chamisa, President of MDC. Who else do we have? Here's Fadzai Mahere. Here is, so you got Nelson Chamisa, you have Fadzai Mahere. The team is just pulling up some of the responses that have come in. Terrible events at White City. Our prayers go out to the injured, and we hope no lives have been lost. Violence must have no place in our politics. May God bless and protect the country we all love. That's President Nelson Chamisa. I'm trying to pull up the responses for you, but if I'm not able to pull them up on time, the global community has been speaking with us today. The national community, political leaders have been speaking with us. I understand what fear does, because here is the way fear operates. A wise man once said to me that there is 3 ways in which people govern. You govern either because you have a lot of money, so you use money to govern. You govern either because you use love to govern, or you govern because you use fear to govern. What happened today is the introduction of a very frightening type of fear into our politics. A fear that wants to grip the very heart of how we do politics. When you have this type of weapon starting to enter political rallies, I want you to remember this. We don't just have politicians at rallies, okay? We don't just have politicians at rallies. We have politicians' wives at rallies. We have politicians' children at rallies. We have politicians' administrators at rallies. But what frightens me the most is we have normal civilians at rallies. We have children at rallies. We have members of the press at rallies. So you might want to look at this and what it does, maybe for a President Mnangagwa, what it does, because you might not always see eye to eye with Vice President Chiwenga, but are you thinking about the man who are wearing military uniform near the president? Are you thinking about the man who are wearing civilian clothing as close protection unit from the president's department near to the president? These are the men and women who put themselves in harm's way every day, not to protect the individual, but to protect the office of the president. They will protect any president. We hear two of them might not have made it alive tonight. So as we go around and we throw conspiracy theories, Zimbabwe, can we be kind? Can we remember to be kind? Can we remember that as a country, I don't ever know a time as a country where when travesty visits or when travesty beats us, we split and we hate. Violence does not bring peace. The moment you need to use violence to prove that your idea is worthy, you've already proven that your idea is a bad idea. I don't know who did this. A lot of you speaking don't know who did this. Tomorrow I will break down the different theories of what I think could have happened. But tonight, I want to ask those who follow me, I want to ask those who care, can we pray for the families that are injured? Can we pray for the members of the press who were close enough to be able to capture this and some of them got hurt? Can we pray for members of this political party? It could have been any political party. I don't wish this on MDC on any day. It should never be okay to even attack our opposition this way. There is nothing to condone. I am terribly sorry to the president's family. I pray that you are well tonight. I am terribly sorry to the vice president's family. Mary Chiwenga, wherever you are tonight, I pray that you're well tonight. To Mai Muchinguri, to General Rugeje, to Vice President Mohadi, I pray that you're well tonight. To members of the other political parties who will be on the campaign trail in the next couple of days, to your security teams, I say stand guard. Whatever this demon is that wants to come into this country, may we stand as a country and say, not this country. There will not be space in this country to allow terrorism to penetrate. There will not be space in this country to allow this type of terrorism to ever become normal. It must never become normal to have this type of terrorism. I don't have a lot to say tonight, but I thought it's important for me to come on tape and let the country know that we will beat this. We will defeat it. The president, I'm sure, very soon shall give a national address where he will reassure this country that he has it under control, that the investigations are going on and we will be okay. My fellow Zimbabweans, tonight I'm a Zimbabwean and I ask you to be Zimbabwean tonight. I ask you to not be a politician. I ask you to not be a political analyst. I beg of you to be Zimbabwean tonight. Love your kids, hug your wives, call your families, remind each other that at the end of the day, we must build this country, and that is where all our focus should be. Our focus should be on how do we move this country forward, not how do we break it apart by tearing into each other. I'll be back on this set tomorrow, 9 p.m., and I will look at the possible scenarios that could have taken place. Tonight, I just wanted to wish all the families well, and I wanted to wish you, my Zimbabweans, a focused evening, focused on where this country should be going, and what we should never be afraid of. Until tomorrow, head bowed.